Charlie lied to me. So it was
Maria,
okay, I'm saving my job.
you setting me up. Okay, I got you.
It's a default, but there's also another default we're not here to log in.
Miss Parker.
It's,
Lying to my boss.
no, it was an accident. It was an accident. I didn't know that. I forgot there was one left. And then she said she's gonna get in trouble. She's gonna get all this stuff's gonna happen to her.
You're
I said if
you're
that's
go-
true,
you're gonna have an accident here pretty soon. I was just gonna.
sorry.
All right, is this a double default?
No, this is
No,
just
we got
this is just
Gantz. We have okay. Unmute yourself, Ms. Gantz. Okay, this is called number 2020-06636 in the interest of Olivia and Waylon Thurgood. Please raise your right hands and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Hester Gantz and their mother.
All right, and for the state,
Sade Parker, Your Honor, for the state.
court will note that the non-custodial parent, Cyrus Thurgood, was served on July 24th, 2020 at 2:29 p.m. at 1200 Baker Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He's not filed an answer, is that correct, or appeared in court?
Yes, it is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. He was given further notice of the Zoom hearing, which was delivered December 19th, 2020. And he has not checked in, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, he has not checked in.
All right, so we'll proceed by default. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Your Honor. The state would like to call Hester Gantz. Ms. Gantz, can you please state your name for the record
Hester Gantz,
and your relationship to the children?
their mother.
And you're the mother of Waylon and Olivia Thurgood, correct?
Yes.
And who is their father?
Cyrus Thurgood.
And are you currently
Okay,
married?
Miss Parker, her answer is being delayed by 3 or 4 seconds. So can you wait a minute before you ask the next question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's go back to what is the name of your children, ma'am?
Olivia Thurgood and Waylon Thurgood.
All right, go ahead now.
And who is their father?
Cyrus Thurgood.
Okay.
And are you currently married?
No.
And were you married at the time Waylon and Olivia were conceived?
No.
And how do you know that Cyrus Thurgood is their father?
He's the only person I was with.
When
Sleeping
you
with.
said, okay. And when Olivia was born, do you recall signing an acknowledgement of paternity in the hospital?
Yes.
And do you recall Mr. Thurgood signing that acknowledgement of paternity?
Yes.
And when Waylon was born, no acknowledgement of paternity was signed, correct?
Yes.
But it's your testimony here today that Mr. Thurgood is the only person that you were having sexual relationships with during the time that Waylon was conceived, correct?
Yes.
And you're requesting that this court create a parent-child relationship between Waylon and Olivia Thurgood and Cyrus Thurgood, correct?
Yes.
And how old are your children?
Olivia is 3, Waylon is 2.
And when was the last time your children have seen Cyrus?
A month ago.
Okay, and you and Mr. Thurgood have not lived together since your oldest child, Olivia, has been born, correct?
Correct. We never lived together.
Okay. And since your oldest child has been born, has Mr. Thurgood provided any financial support for your children?
Yes.
Yes. And was it consistent or was it on and off support?
On and off.
Okay. And you're requesting that this court appoint you and Mr. Thurgood joint managing conservators, correct?
Yes.
And you believe that this would be in the best interest of your children, correct?
Yes.
And you're also requesting that this court appoint you as the managing conservator with the exclusive right to designate the primary residence in Harris and contiguous counties, correct?
Yes.
You're also requesting that this court grant Mr. Thurgood a standard possession order, correct?
Yes.
And is there private health or dental insurance available to you at a reasonable cost for your children?
No.
Do you know if there's private health or dental insurance available to Mr. Thurgood at a reasonable cost for your children?
No.
And so how are your children currently covered for health insurance?
Medicaid.
And are you asking that this court order cash medical support in the amount of $80 per month to begin on February 1st, 2021?
Yes.
And furthermore, are you asking that this court order child support in the based on the minimum wage presumption in the amount of $265 per month beginning on February 1st, 2021?
Yes.
Okay, and since your oldest daughter Olivia has been born, how many months has Mr. Thurgood been incarcerated?
6 months.
6 months. And you're also requesting that this court take a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $792.
Yes.
And that doesn't include, that's not for the period that he was in jail, correct?
Yes.
And you're requesting that it be paid back at $55 per month beginning on February 1st, 2021, correct?
Yes.
You're also requesting that Mr. Thurgood be responsible for 50% of all uncovered health care expenses, correct?
Yes.
And you don't have any safety concerns with your address being listed in this order, do you?
No.
And you're requesting that Mr. Thurgood be ordered to pay at all court costs as billed, correct?
Yes.
Are you asking this court to grant this default judgment?
Yes.
And Mr. Thurgood is not currently incarcerated, correct?
No, not to my knowledge.
And do you believe that granting this default judgment is in the best interest of your children?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
All right, the court approves the order submitted. Thank you very much. You're free to go.
Thank you. Ms. Gantz, you're free to go. Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
there's just one more default, so 1 second. Your Honor, don't get off. Maria told me to tell you, don't leave
All right, I'm here.
after you chastise me on YouTube.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Andrea,
Ms. Ferrari, unmute
we're
yourself.
we're still live on YouTube, just so you know.
Hello.
Well, looky there.
I'm in
Look, look what the cat broke.
I know. I'm in the office today. Do y'all feel the AG vibe? Here we are.
All right. So, what are we doing here? Is this?
The other default is coming over now, Your Honor.
All right. Got to admit that person,
Yes, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Mitchell. That's AAG Mitchell.
There should be a Miss Holden. She may be via phone, I think.
I don't see her.
Yeah, I don't see anybody yet. Andrea, are you guys doing the default? Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. And Kira's gonna watch so she can notate.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna watch too. I mean, I know how to do it, but it's always you never know.
Always a good observation. This one's a little bit different. So.
It's always good to watch a pro.
Oh, I didn't want to say that, Judge, but I'm gonna let you say that. Thank you. Kira, do you know the status of your CP?
She did log out, and so she's supposed to be calling in.
Okay.
Oh, that she logged out.
Oh,
so
there we go.
Oh, good.
Let's see. There's Miss Holden. All right. All right, this is cause number 2020-39514 in the interest of Autumn George. Please raise your right hand to be sworn, ma'am. And unmute yourself, please. Miss Holden. Unmute yourself. Do you know how to unmute yourself?
Press
Okay.
the microphone.
There you go. There you go. Raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Please state your name and your relationship to this child.
Ashley Holden, and I'm the mother.
All right. And for the state?
Andrea Perard.
According to note that John Andre George is the non-custodial parent, and he was served at 14871 Cruz Street in Detroit, Michigan on October 23rd, 2020 at 3:55 p.m. He has not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Perard?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. And so we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Miss Holden. Ma'am, in regards to, you heard the judge just state that Mr. George was served in Michigan. In regards to establish jurisdiction over him, you and Mr. George had a relationship here in Texas. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in fact, this child, Autumn, was conceived in the state of Texas. Is that right?
Yes.
And he has just since moved to Michigan after the child was conceived, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in regards to the paternity of the child, is it your testimony today, Mr. George is the only one who could possibly be the father of the child, Autumn?
Yes.
The only one that you had intimate relationship with during the probable time of conception, is that correct?
Yes.
You're asking to keep the name George, is that right?
You said, am I asking to keep the name George?
Yes, Autumn's last name is George.
Oh, yes.
Now, in regards to conservatorship, there has been, you're asking for sole managing conservatorship as you've alleged that there's been some family violence between you and Mr. George, Mr. George in the past. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that has been, he's been physically abusive to you and he has hit you in the past. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're asking to keep your address and information kept out of this court order as well as you feel that that is for your safety. Is that right?
Yes.
In addition, he obviously does not live in the state of Texas, so sole managing conservatorship with you being designated as the primary to designate the residence without regard to geographic location makes the most sense, is in the best interest of the child. Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Now, in regards to possession and access, should Mr. George come to Texas, you have no issues with him having visitation through a standard possession order, correct?
Yes.
But that a pickup and drop off would occur at his sister's home here in Houston, correct?
Yes. It's in Katy. Yeah.
And Katie, okay. Now, in regards to his wage information, income for him, so we are using the minimum wage presumption for the state of Michigan at $9.65 an hour, and he has 2 additional children under the age of 18 that we believe reside with him, correct?
Yes.
And how is this child covered by insurance?
She is currently on Medicaid.
We're going to order you to maintain that government medical assistance. We'll be requesting Mr. George reimburse the state at $50 beginning February 1st of 2021. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes.
And then giving him credit for those 2 children and the health insurance. His current child support will be $229 beginning February 1st of 2021. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes.
And you are asking for retroactive support all the way back from 4 years prior to the date of filing, which would go back from July 2nd of 2016 until today, in the amount of $12,595, and requesting that he pay that back at $150 beginning February 1st of 2021. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes.
And Mr. George did not provide any financial support for the child in those time period.
No.
I believe that concludes the order, Your Honor. I pass my witness.
Regarding the non-disclosure finding, ma'am, when did you said that there was some physical altercation between you and Mr. George
Yes.
in the past? And can you tell me when and what happened?
I want to say when my daughter was about 6 or 5 months, we had an altercation that resulted to the police being called by my mother. He repeatedly punched me in my face, held me down in the back of our car and punched me in my face over and over again.
And so if he knew your address, or does he know where you live now?
No, he does not.
And if he knew your address, would he likely come and cause you or your child any harassment, abuse, serious harm, or injury?
No.
You
Not
think
that
that
I
might
know
happen?
of.
I'm sorry?
I'm not really sure about that.
Well, he's caused some injury in the past, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes, he
there's a
has.
possibility they could do it again.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Holden, you can go ahead and exit the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, that really is all of it. Like that's really everything.
Oh, she says that's really everything. You believe her? She says, regardless, we're done.
Well, the boss says it's over, so it's over.
Oh, okay. All right. See you all tomorrow.
All right, thank you,
Bye.
Judge.
The boss, nobody's happy.